Welcome back to the Shelby Institute Vodcast series. My name is Jack Allison. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I'm a current senior, and I'm a management major with plans to go to law school.
Hi, I'm Olivia Brown. I'm also a senior from Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm majoring in political science and French. And today we have with us Mr. Andrew Olmem, who is currently a partner at Mayor Brown's DC office, a managing partner there, where he is also a co-head of the Financial Services Program Group. Previously to this, he served as Republican Chief Counsel for the Senate Banking Committee under Senator Shelby and has also held roles within the White House and is a part of Washingtonian Magazine's top 500 most influential people.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Our first question is, was there a time you saw Senator Shelby apply his leadership under pressure, and what did you take away from that?
I saw Senator Shelby exercise some very amazing leadership qualities, particularly during the 2008 financial crisis. He was either the ranking member or chairman of the committee during that period. One area in particular I remember is when I first got to the banking committee in 2005, 2006 time period. He had seen actually that there were some problems in the financial system, and he was in the process of crafting a bill and trying to move a bill through that would have enhanced the regulation of the mortgage market. And at that time, the economy was doing really well. People didn't want to see change. They were concerned that it might diminish the vitality of the housing market by kind of moving interest rates up. But I think he saw at the time that moving early and trying to deal with some of these problems would be better for the country. And I think in retrospect, given everything that happened in the 2008 financial crisis, I think history has shown that he had spotted a key issue. He stood up when other people preferred to just kind of let the good times go, and he tried to move something to deal with something proactively. I think it took a lot of leadership. It was not entirely popular at the time, which is why he wasn't able to initially get the bill passed. But what is interesting too is ultimately when the crisis happened, he was able to get that legislation largely passed. It's called the Housing Economic Recovery Act, now passed in 2008. And that leadership, I do think, helped us deal with the crisis. And he was ready for it, way ahead of most people.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And aside from just high pressure moments, what are just some of your favorite recollections that you just had with the senator?
Oh, I had a great experience at the banking committee, both with the senator and with the great staff there. I think one great thing about the way Shelby approached his duties at the banking committee was he loved to hear from us kind of what we thought. He loved to hear kind of the latest advice. He's always fascinated by the topic and that love of learning that he has, always trying to inform himself and see kind of where he should be going next, what's the next bill. So I always have a lot of great discussions just policy with him. And also he has a great sense of humor too. And I remember when I first started working with him, he said, now that you're on staff, just get into these issues. It'll pay off, and we'll have some fun together. And that's exactly kind of what happened. It was a great atmosphere working with him. So I also, more specifically, I do remember during like the 2008 financial crisis, he never lost his cool. He approached things very calmly, and thought these issues, really complex issues, out very well. And I think he handled himself about as good a way as anyone could have in that situation. And I look back fondly on working with him over all those years.
How did that set you up for your job in the White House, like having his advice in the back of your head, having worked under him?
It did, because I was used to giving advice, and Shelby had been around for a long time by the time I worked there, so he also would push back, and so I was used to learning how to give advice, hearing questions and getting used to what questions he would have. I also just learned the process very well, how Congress works, the committee works, how our financial regulatory system worked. being in that position. So I think I was very well prepared by the time I got to the White House to work on those issues.
Okay, and maybe a few more. So, like, looking forward for you, how do you see your work with Senator Shelby, your work in the White House, impacting your future?
Oh, well, it already has. It was just an amazing experience.
Yes.
I feel very fortunate to have had the opportunity to serve. And I was there at a very interesting time, not only the 2008 financial crisis, Dodd-Frank discussions, and debate. So it was the most active time for the banking committee since the New Deal and the kind of Great Depression era legislation. So it was very consequential, the work that went on there, and I was fortunate to be part of it and hopefully made some contribution to improving our public policy.
Yes.
Looking back, what would you say Senator Shelby's legacy has had on the state of Alabama and the country?
Oh, it's tremendous. He was a legislator who I think came to Congress with a plan of what he wanted to do, and I think that's unfortunately a rare thing. But he had a vision of making sure that he moved on particular objectives. He was very strategic. I think a very good example of that is his support for education and trying to improve the educational opportunities and improving the quality of the workforce in Alabama. And he has a vision that it wouldn't just change people's lives in the near future, but would fundamentally change the trajectory of their kids' and grandchildren's opportunities, for generations to come, because of the power and impact of education. And I think seeing the work that he's done here for the university, that vision was very much realized, and certainly have an impact on the state for decades to come.
Okay, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yep, thank you.